He's not the most popular person right now. He's not as popular today as he was back then. Things have really changed and changed pretty fast. And so let's see what he's going to say about this. And to help us get a grip of some of these things, I have our political analyst, Joyce Wamahio, with me in the studio, who will help us get a better understanding. Now, I need to give you a background of Joyce because, you know, she's an activist who doesn't just speak. She's an activist who does things. I mean, she's taken the government to court. She's out there. So she definitely, she just doesn't speak, but she lives out what she's saying. Thank you very much, Joyce, for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Fred.
All right.
Good morning.
Joyce, I don't even know where to start because some of the things that are happening in this country, you look at them and you wonder, how did we get to this level? Let's start off with the university issue where a lot of money, almost 2.2 billion shillings, have been siphoned out of a higher educational institution that is supposed to prepare the children for the future. As in, you don't do this to institutions, but it has been done, and it looks like impunity is the order of the day in that institution.
True, Fred. You know, it's disheartening to watch when a good country, that this is the country that has a historical journey with democracy and the rule of law being adhered to, that we have now the blatant abuse of the same rule, that members who are heading public institutions can decide now to defy what is provided for in the law. Public Finance Management Act, this is what we call the PFM Act, provides for accounting documents that must be kept in proper use within a periodical period. But we found one institution, among us others, because the Office of the Auditor General has cried severally in the past and said, we've not been funded so that we can conduct a proper audit to this institution. One institution is Moi University.
Yes.
Some time back, we saw very vocal, without mentioning names, we saw vocal current members of holding elective leadership went to this institution, ejected literally the VC who was seated by then, Rabban, and brought one of their own. Now, what has one of their own done? Apparently, this week on Tuesday, when EACC went for the next of these four persons, the four of them are their own. So they brought their own, four of their own, with a pure intention to bring down a major institution. Moi University have been there, I think, way back in the 80s. This is an institution going to about 40 years old. But we want, within a span of 4 years, Fred, to bring this
completely destroy it.
To bring it literally to its knees. 2.2 billion shillings, Fred, is not 10 shillings.
That's a lot of money. I remember Professor Ginde, Dr. Yoginde explaining that you would, how for you to clear 1 billion shillings.
Yes.
The kind of expenses that you will need to do on a daily basis.
To incur. What is 2.2 billion Fred shillings? How many millions of thousands are these?
Yes.
2.2 billion Kenya shillings. It's enough to run that institution for about 4 years. But these have been done within like about 2 years.
Yes.
Literally, for accounting purposes, what has the VC done with 2.2 billion? We will leave it to the courts of law, to the EACC. For the 5 months down the line, EACC have been writing to Moi University. Kindly provide for us some accounting documents for us to inquire on how you spend the 2.2 billion. How many other institutions, Fred, that have not been touched by EACC that are grappling with loss of public funds? There are so many. It's only that we do not have proper audit being done into these institutions. When proper audit will be done on these institutions, Moi University will not be around.
But if you look at the impunity with which EACC can go to an institution, ask for documents, and not be given. This person is supposed to be at committee right now.
True. It is worrying, Fred. EACC, it's too early in the morning to start calling out persons. But EACC, have they been prudent enough in terms of execution, their orders? They will write to an institution, EBN, can they avail for us the foreign accounting documents? But do they follow? How many cases do we have today, ranging back several years ago, that were captured by the domains of EACC? I don't mean to mention one, Fred. If Dr. Evans Kidero, does he or does he not have an issue with EACC?
He does.
Touching on which year? 2013. How many years down the line? 11 years down the line? And we are still having the same discussion, Fred? We have also constitutional bodies that have refused, deliberately refused. What do we see? They went not prosecute cases against the same persons. So we have a country that have refused to be governed by the rule of law. And where these constitutional mandated bodies have been given authority, Fred, they've refused. It's only last week. CJ went and mentioned that at times, judges are forced to carry files to their bedrooms.
Why in the world would a judge...
Why in the world would a whole CEO say, deliberately mention that? That you've even carried the physical file. Fred, you've carried the physical files of 3 crimes, one being two. Why would you say that? Why? Won't you make decisions from the defined periods of operation?
Yes.
CJ has literally working personnel who can assist her to deliberate on a matter and give timely decisions without physically carrying the file itself to her.
Because you carry the files, then that opens you up to meet the parties.
This is it.
How many people have met these judges and paid their way out of?
It is. What does Ahmed Nasir call them? Let us not call them this morning. But other legal minds have come out in public, Fred, and said, we have issue with the judiciary. We have issue. Remember the times of Maraga. Remember the times of Muzunga.
Yes.
Were they going to bed with the files?
No way.
Then why do we have today judicial system going to bed with the files in their bedrooms? We also have EACC going to bed with the files in their bedrooms. And no wonder. Some cases will take like about how many years to be cleared. Kidero is not our own. How many other sitting governors that served during those times today their cases have not been concluded and done with? It is because selectively, Fred, we are dealing with issues that we want to clear. If I do not want to handle Fred, I'll keep him aside and handle persons who are not politically connected with me. And no wonder. If we have a case today of Fred who is not in bed with the government, it will be expedited within like 2 days. Look at what happened to the case of Rigathi Gachagua, the former Bandit governor.
Lightning, Roheni.
It was more than the lightning, you know. Removing from office a governor, we realize today is harder than removing a deputy president, because it literally calls for 2 days and the whole done and dusted. We've seen this country walking down back to the old dark days.
So it literally means, if I was to take you to Moi University, there has to be a very high, powerful individual who's protecting the VC so that he does not face justice.
I do not want to get the words out of your mouth, but Fred, you've just categorically, in capital letters, said the same. Who are the persons who kicked the former VC out? Leadership of Uasiklenus County. Who are the persons who are involved in the scandals of taking parents' money to finish universities? The same leadership. Fred, you know, we are dealing with a rotten society. Apparently, Fred, come to think of it, why do you have so many scandals in Western Nigiso County? Name it, every single day. Parents or residents of Western Nigiso will cry of somebody who is out willing to con them out of money, either fictitious jobs abroad, like the one that was done by the former governor. Look at Moi University, 2.2 billion, and even the amount of money involved is not 2 shillings, Fred. Go back in history. Consistently, Western Nigisho County is known of scamming residents of Western Nigisho. Huge sums of money. 2.2.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. But to them, it's petty cash. 2 weeks back, Fred, we saw from the neighboring Bomet County or Kerisho County, where 488 million was saved out of Furiza from Safaricom. Do you have some regions that, you know, it's not a laughing matter, Fred, but do you have some regions that can easily scam people out, money out of that very fast? That we read in headlines. 2.2 billion. How Moi University chiefs siphoned off 2.2 billion?
By the time 2.2 billion shillings is disappearing, Treasury must have known.
Yes.
Because 2.2 billion is not money that just disappears.
Nah.
Treasury, surely, would like to hear what the president is going to say about this. This is threatening the future of, you know, the future generations. When you cripple a university.
A whole university.
Few individuals.
Yes. When you cripple a whole university, with a student population of continuously like about 80,000, give about like 20, 80,000 rise. What do you think is happening? Today, the personnel, the lecturers are on the streets. And literally, initially we used to think that when they refused to listen to, when the CS education, CS labor, refused to listen to the members of the public universities, we thought it was a joke. Now this one can tell us it's really not a joke. Do you have the same in Nairobi University?
Probably, yes.
Probably. Do you have the same with KU University? Probably. Because that is why lecturers on the streets, they cannot be paid. Even methods, the own revenue, the generation of own revenue, he have been crippled. If you can bring down 2.2 billion. Even in terms of own revenue generation, have been affected.
Yes.
So in essence, we have persons in Kenya deliberately willing to bring down this country. The bishops last week mentioned the same, which was a hot potato in everybody's mouth.
Yes.
And activists have been in the books for a long time. Look at what happened in the 2023 finance bill. Look at what happened in 2024, the finance bill. Look at what's happening now at the current proposed supplementary bill. Look at what happened yesterday between Badi and the governors.
Yes.
Badi is saying, I've released you funds. The governors are telling him.
There's nothing like that.
Central bank requires 2 weeks.
Yes.
To deposit funds from your account to our account. You are saying you have given us. Coffers can prove to you. We can give you bank statements to prove, Fred, that you've not given. Why do you have a culture of Kenyans who are right? The bishops were right.
And I hope this finds its way into the, you know, the speech by the president. Because, you know, when the church comes and tells you you are a liar, and it returns your money and tells you we want nothing to do with you, you have every reason to be concerned. Because the church is said to be the conscience of society. And they've washed their hands from you. They're saying your government is dirty. Your money is dirty. You're a liar. You lie, you lie, you lie. I hope at least something finds its way into his speech today.
Some time back, Fred, when we were here with Pastor Amos, we said like we preempted today's discussion, that the government is not doing it well. And persons in the civil society have been talking the same song. The church now comes out on last week, a day like today, to Ruaraka, and brings out a very, very hot issue, very, very hot issue. Because churches in Kenya today, Fred, their footprints cannot be covered in 100 years.
Yes.
So when the church tells you the direction that you're taking is wrong, you have every reason to go back to the drawing board and restructure the same. The church tells you, what is the church involvement in government in terms of leadership? One, Fred, the government has failed in total to provide health care. That is why you have faith-based organizations providing health care, including most of the hospitals we have in Kenya. Mention any. You find a footprint of the religious society, I mean the religious communities in performing those duties. Go back to the education sector, Fred. The Catholic University, the PC University, KAG University. What has the churches got to do with the business of running education? Because the government has not provided adequate infrastructure, the resources, the personnel to provide the same. So the churches are coming to fill in gaps of what the government has refused to do. So in essence, the churches are direct consumers of the same information that literally is reaching the desk of Fred. And Fred is the head of this Republic of Kenya. I hope you'll be one time you'll be the head of this institution.
Yes.
So these prayers are telling you, we are the consumers of the health sector. We are the consumers of the education sector. We are the consumers of the transport sector. We are the consumers of this. So they give you a checklist. And then they tell you that in terms of the health sector, the shoe is not working. Because my grandmother in the village cannot define literally what is the sha and the she. So they tell you the sha and the sheaf are not working. Why? Because their clients are beneficiaries, are the consumers of the same information. So you cannot say when the following morning when Sudi and his brothers woke up to issue threats to the church and tell them what business do you have with the health sector? Because the church is the providers of the health sector. The church tells you that the education sector has collapsed. The new university model of funding, we are the casualties of the same. Our parishioners are parents of these university going kids. In essence, they are telling you what is literally on the ground. That our parishioners are coming to us as churches and telling us, kindly provide reasons and solutions to this. And we come to you as the head of this institution, and we tell you, the education sector is performing badly. And instead of delivering on the same and addressing the same, you said you are goons to harass the church. So on Sunday, on Friday, all the papers are down. 15 government bodies are responding to what the Catholic bishops have said.
15
government institutions. Each 15 government institutions literally meant 15 positions and issues were addressed on that material day. So that is why you have 15 bodies coming to address. So in essence, it tells you where there's smoke, there is fire. And if the fire is not burning, it's just about to burn. Then you go to church on Saturday during the ordination ceremony of Bishop, His Lordship Peter Kimani. And then you meet with, again, Wajiko from Embu. And Wajiko from Embu is suffering from the issues of health sector, is suffering from the issues of affordable housing. Because they're asking you, you build houses for us. We do not have money in the pocket. So, is a newborn nani?
We can't buy them. We
can't buy them because we do not have money. Wajiko from Embu is suffering from the education. The kids are in home today because they are not in the university. Why? This is month 2 of the even public lecturers in the streets. So Wajiko is waiting for you. The people's representative being the churches yesterday told you something. So you come today, and Wajiko is like common sense was not working in Kenya Kwanza government. You go there and tell them that nikitoka hapa naenda Embu General Hospital. To do what? People's representatives have been telling you severally. When you open up every day's newspapers, will tell you of patients who are suffering because they've not been able to access. So you do not need to go to Embu General Hospital. You only need to place a call and call Barasa and tell Barasa, Kaide effect the forward. So you do not need to go to Embu. And when you go to Embu, you again shoot your foot We find a lot of drama. Come Sunday, then you say, because again, from the president intelligence, he can always say, ile church yakina Fred tomorrow when it's Sunday, iko na issue. Yeah. So you do not need the bishop to invite you to the platform. So you go to Soweto in Ebakasi. Again, you shoot yourself. Fred, I'm a daughter of a catechist. And in Catholic, we do not pronounce our givings. We even have baskets that are closed, that you can only dip your contribution. And when you are dipping, you do it individually. It is not in public. So when you go and say that I intend, it is wrong. Again, in our religions, Fred, where you and me we come from, when we want to assist a church in terms of the uniforms, you do not quantify. Because who had told you that they needed 200,000 for the uniforms? No. You would rather say, I'll deal with the uniforms. That figure is not quantifiable. Yes. And even where the enemies want to return the amount of money, they have no idea what they are returning. Yes. This one, you still go to shoot yourself on the foot. 200,000 for your school, for your choir uniforms, 5 million for the... No, you don't. We saw it on Saturday. When the Ford went to congratulate his old friend, Lordship Peter Kimani, told him, I'm bringing my own envelope, my small envelope. Yes. We saw it was an A4. Yes. But we never saw what was inside. Yes. So again, don't go publicly displaying what you are giving. Because the Bible have told us, let us give out and give out in... not in public. Don't be like the Pharisees who went to that corner and said, Lord, I'm not like those sinners who cannot give you 200,000 for the school choir, I mean for the church choir. The message on the ground, Fred, is very clear. That when you give me, when I give you back in public, and I use negative words, of course the child did not give negative words, but you can feel your doubts, Fred. And when you've given me that phone, I return it. It tells you I'm an enemy. I'm your enemy. Is the government an enemy of the church? Yes. Because you've refused to deal with the matters that were given to you. We as the church, we've been dealing literally with the spiritual world. We've also come to the material world in terms of giving even aids to members of the public. And in terms of you delivering services, this is what we are fighting. That even for the taxes that we are giving you, instead of putting the taxes into proper use, Fred, what you're doing is to eat the resources, to eat the taxes that have been paid by the Kenyans. The current supplementary budget, that is at the public participation, what have members of public been saying? The government of Kenya, we do not have an issue with paying taxes, but we have a major issue in terms of where our taxes have been going. Where has our taxes been going? 2.2. It is in the public domain. It is in the public domain. It is captured in the headlines that 2.2 was stolen from Moi University. So when the church tells you your government is a government of rice, when you say on one hand that we are coming for you, you corrupt officers, and you cannot come out and get the VC, Moi University, that it has taken the ESCC 5 months for him to come from Eldoret. Yes. Fred, was the VC walking from Eldoret to Nairobi? And even for the workers, can you need 5 months to walk from Eldoret? It just shows there is no political will
goodwill
to fight corruption.
Yes.
It is not there.
Now, today the president is going to be, addressing the nation at the joint sitting of Parliament. What are some of the things that you would ideally expect him to address? And do you expect this address to be any different from some of the addresses that we've had? Because as you say, there are quite weighty issues that need to be addressed by the head of state, because his posture is what determines the posture of all other leaders.
Yesterday, we saw in the social media the 19 points that the official opposition readers brought it out in the public. That these are the issues that we want the head of state to address. Historically, he has addressed that house. What were the outcomes? Was it only another Article 162 that we need to go and address the state and tell them of the state of the nation? This head of state is known of giving us figures. So again today we expect, we'll take a paper and pen, and even you, Fred, you'll be holding a paper and pen.
Yes.
And we'll be reading figures of 10,000, 200,000. But in essence, do those figures translate the same to the ground? No. The head of state in last year, on his address, the State of Nation address, what bodies have been implementing his State of Nation address are near the same like today. So if the issues raised in last year's State of Nation address were not dealt with, Fred, do you expect anything different today?
No.
When on Thursday last week, when the Catholic bishops brought out the 10 issues, what did he do on Friday? Instead of addressing the same, he went to Tagaza College. Tagaza University, there was a graduation ceremony. Did he address? Jonas told us. He has 4 of his daughters who've gone through the same. And he knows what we are fearing. Is that enough?
No.
He went on Saturday to Ebu, told us the issues of affordable housing, the Shiv and the Shah, and the education. From Saturday up to date, what has happened? Tomorrow, the Form 4s are clearing their KCSE.
Yes.
Today, some students have gone home, will go home today after clearing part of the KCSE. Tomorrow, the last batch will clear. What has been delivered and deliberated on in terms of the education sector? Zero. In terms of the health sector, let us assume that Fred and Joyce have not been discussing about the Shine Chief. On Thursday last week, it came out clearly that the Catholic bishops mentioned the issue of the health sector. From Thursday last week to Thursday today, what have been done for 7 days? So if 7 days he did not deliver on promises of the health sector that have been delivering in this country since he took office from 2022, do you think Fred today, I'm not a prophet of doom, I'm his friend, but do you think we'll get anything major? No. If anything today, he'll be managing the egos of the rights of his friends, including several political leaders who've been out to frustrate service delivery of this country.
You're saying people have been out to sabotage service delivery?
Yes, people have been deliberately out to sabotage service delivery. When you remove the former deputy governor, brings in another when you deliberately remove one deputy president and brings in another deputy president, this deputy president is not coming to deliver in terms of the health sector because we have a CS. So a lot of effort is out there to bring down one person to bring in another person. But in essence, what you're only trying to do is, it's a public game that you're trying to play. Because in terms of service delivery, the removal of Joyce from the office and bringing in of Fred, how is it going to deliver in terms of the education sector? How is it going to deliver in terms of the agricultural sector? Where I come from today, Fred, last night and today in the morning, there was serious rain. What is being done to harness all that rain that is going to the west?
Yeah.
Today, it's good in Nairobi, there's no rains, but where I came from last night, it rained seriously. The issue of serious rains, we have issues with flooding. We have issues with outbreaks of some diseases. Who has done anything about it? So this is deliberate effort of trying to sabotage service delivery, including his own office. That he do not want to press a call. Sometime back 2 years back, Fred, when he was signing the performance contract of his own CSS and PS, he told us something. I don't want to be quoted here. That some persons here have no idea what is happening in their own ministries.
Yes.
When he signed the performance contract on Tuesday, he kept mum on the same discussion. But I want to evaluate. 2 years down the line, he said that his own PSS and CS, whose names, he is the one who proposed those names to the National Assemblies to be vetted. They have no idea. So, Fred, you bring in an employee, Joyce is the hiring person, and from the summary of the CV here says that the person sponsored by Fred is a high performing, all those beautiful English words. Then you take this august body, house, that is already compromised to pass the names in total, and they pass the names. 1 week later, you say they have no idea who originated from the names Fred.
Yeah.
Were those names committed to that house by the public? No. Fred is the originator, the author of those names. So even in yourself, Fred, who originated with the names of these persons, you literally failed this country. So literally, this person is out to sabotage the service delivery of this nation. So he is the author number one.
Yes. Before you jump from that, are you saying, because, from this conversation, are you saying there's nothing good that has come out of this government from the time Ruto took over?
The good can be, there is some good, because in terms of rating, I would give him a D-.
Yes.
A D- is better than an E. And that D-,
What are some of the things you can say have earned him the D? As in, some of the good things he has done so that he doesn't get an E.
We saw 3 weeks back, the CS Areba brought in a gentleman from Saudi Arabia, went to my good old institution, Kabete Polytechnic, and KICC, and created some jobs. That's some steps in the right direction. I'm yet to see anything else better. Why? They held the sector.
Yes.
Today has collapsed.
In terms of the standard of living, I'm looking at, by the time he was giving the State of the Nation address last year, probably the cost of living was extremely high, in the sense that the fuel prices were extremely high, probably almost 200 per liter. Maize flour was unbelievably high. Things like bread, the things that, the basics that your ordinary mwananchi uses were very high, and people were complaining. Right now the situation has changed, hasn't it?
It has changed, Fred. But we should not look into issues from only one side only. The market forces, both internal and the external market forces, have they been contributing? Yes. We had a long period of drought. What happened thereafter? God blessed had the cries of this country. So did God bring in the prices down? No. Because our shabas are productive today. 2 years down the line, we had the cost of maize, the 90 kg bag going from 7,000 to today at 2,800. Why? All the farms today are good. Where I come from today, the greens are everywhere. So even other market forces, his leadership narrowed down together with other market forces. Look at the fuel prices. In terms of even the external, the international markets, the prices have also come down. So it is not his government that has brought the prices of fuel down. It is other market forces. He should be taking advantage of market forces to dwell, to sing a nice song. What is happening? Look at what is happening in the education sector. The old funding model against the new funding model. The branding of kids from one bird to the other. Fred, your own father, hope he's not listening to this TV station today.
No, he's not. He's asleep in heaven.
Oh, rest in peace, our old man.
Yes.
Your old father was a civil servant. And when we are filling in the questionnaire in terms of the help, we asked you a question of the resources your father earned. So we classified and burdened you in terms of resources from your father, who was a civil servant, not on the current situation. So the new university funding model is capturing historical issues and not the current issues. Why has it collapsed? Because factors that you need to put into consideration today are not being put into consideration. So in essence, in terms of the education sector, he has called a deal for me. Education, yes, is going on. The transition is pathway. Allow me to take on education sector, Fred. The previous governments that we had initially had an issue of the 100% transition.
Yes.
1 million kids did KCPE.
Yes.
So we expected had 1 million kids to sit for this year's KCSE.
Yes.
Today we only have 800,000 kids.
So 200,000.
So where is the 200,000? Is that what you call an A in terms of scoring? That is what you call in terms of D. So holistically, if I'm to rate this student, I would rate him to a D-. But I would tell him there is room for improvement. Kaide dwells into the issues, the 13 issues that were raised by the bishops. Deal with the health issue.
Yes.
Kaidre, do we need to move from SHA and shift to NHIF? No. We only need to better NHIF. And then allow people to pay, to modernize the NHIF. Any system that is not willing to change is not good. We can better the NHIF. Even on the shift that is there, put the systems in place so that when I log in,
yes,
I've paid my 1,000. When I log in and I visit that health institution, the services will be delivered. But in terms of address of the state of nation today, I'm only seeing him trying to thank the citizens for bringing Kidiki in place of the Madeira, son of Madeira. But in terms of service delivery, zero. Let him prove to Joyce today that he's not going to deliver on zero. Kenyans this morning, push on your elected members of parliament. Bring in a lot of it to that state of address. Bring in a lot of it to that house, so that when the president is talking, let him talk from a house that is burning. Let him bring down the fire. When you're bringing down the fire, in terms of the education sector, Kaidre charge the VC, Moi University, charging in the court of law today because he wrote a statement with the ACC yesterday. Reo, wacha perekwe kotini, ameiba 2.2 billion. Education sector, wacha the university students that are at home today because 2 months have not gone to classes, allow the lecturers to go and lecture. Kaidre today, sema kitu so that tomorrow tuanze kuona process ikianza kutembea Fred, tutasema yenyewe this government is calling now from D- to C+. That is my state of address. Yes.
And now the Gen Zs had threatened that they will disrupt the State of the Nation address today because they believe that some of the things that they had raised during their demonstrations have never been addressed. Basically, they were given just word of mouth. Do they have grounds?
It is worrying. They have grounds. It is worrying on the methodology used by the government to deal with the Gen Z. What is the methodology used by the government to deal with the Gen Z? Riot police. Piripiri field canister, water canisters. abductions, killings. Is that what the agency have asked the government to do? The government has not been asked by the agency to deal with those 4 issues. The government have been asked by the agency to provide conducive atmosphere in terms for them to run, conducive atmosphere for their mothers who are going to hospital to be treated, conducive atmosphere in terms of the government not to buy maize at 2,800 but to buy at about minimum, what they guaranteed, the minimum guaranteed price of 3,400. They have a whole issue of issues that they've raised. I'm expecting, of course, Isaac Mwaura yesterday was removed from the State House WhatsApp group. I do not know what is happening with the State House WhatsApp group. Initially, Rigathi was removed. Yes. After he was removed, he was ejected. I'm hoping that from the State House WhatsApp group, they will capture the issues that was raised by the bishops, the issues that have been consistently raised by the agencies. Yes. And instead of removing people from the WhatsApp group, let that WhatsApp group include the names of Joy so that we can ask, President, are you looking into the issues raised by the agencies? The agencies do not want to be shot dead. The agencies do not want to be abducted. I'm sure, Fred, you do not want to discuss the issue of abduction in this country. Oh,
it's very unfortunate. We even mentioned it, Kizza Besigye. Abducted.
Even before Kizza was abducted, our own sons on 24th of June were abducted, some of them killed. Some of them, even today, they are still missing. Look at the Kitagera 3. Yes. It took the government 32 days to release them. Of course, the government will say we were not the ones who are holding them. Your question on the agency. Today, the agencies are on the street. Yes. Kaidre, the good road, touch the hearts of the leadership of the National Police Service Commission, so that they do not discuss issues of beating up the agencies, but should take the petitions from the agencies and deliver those petitions to the relevant bodies. Let us have the president today addressing the agency. Let him talk to his sons, because retail agencies are his sons. Let him talk to the agencies as his sons and tell them, Kaide, go back home. Nobody today will kill you. Nobody will tear gas you today. But I will handle your issues. Of course, they will tell him you are a liar, because what he promised them on 24th of June, what did he do? He only brought the ODM into the government. From the list of the petitions from the agency, they did not have any business with the ODM. But President Ruto, what he did, he said he put the petitions aside and brought in his own petitions. Read this government. Kaidre had all the petitions of the agency. I'm sure the others of the agency discussion had not seen today at the State of Nation address. They had only chosen on 21st November. Yes. But that day happened to be the only day that had the state of delivering is the State of Nation address. I wish the president would cancel this event, not address the State of Nation from the Parliament, but go to State House. Historically, even religiously, State House is the seat of power. And when you're seated on the seat of power, because the National Assembly is not a state of power for the president. Yes. It is the state of power. It is the house of power for Moses Masiko Etagura and Amason Kigi. Let the head of state go back to his state of power, his own seat of power. And his seat of power is the State House. Let him sit on the State House. From that, he sit where everybody else wants to go and occupy and talk to the agency. Don't go to the National Assembly. Go to the State House and discuss with the agency. Call them. Of course, today they have their own readers. Call them. Tell them, Kaidri, I failed you. Of course, you will not say that he has failed. I failed you in terms of education sector. Yes. I failed you in terms of not charging the Moi University VC to quote. I've failed you in 1, 2, 3. I failed you on the elected leadership. I've been talking bad of the clergy. I failed you on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But instead, can you give me only one last chance? The good Bible that you, Fred, and Joyce read every day gives us resource to have to live tomorrow. in terms of giving us hope. The head of state, take this possession today and give hope to the Gen Z. We have a own saying in where I come from that heart that do not have the youngsters, that heart is gone. Head of state, instead of killing, instead of authorizing the abduction of the Gen Z, kindly deal with giving hope to the Gen Z, because the Gen Z are tired. These are our sons who went through the free education that was given by Kibaki, through the free education that was given at the secondary. The university was free. Yes. Today they are jobless. Their own brothers are in university and they're they are not in classes because the lecturers have not been in the university teaching, the classes teaching. The head of state. Kaide do not go to the National Assembly. Go back to the State House and discuss the issues bedeviling this country. Goes back to the State House. The intelligence, the NIS has corrected petitions from the Gen Z. Preempt that discussion from the Gen Z. Even before the Gen Z go to the street. Come by say 11 in the morning. Head of state to be a key to. So that our Gen Zs do not go to the street. Let us not resort to the civil disobedience. Fred, between you and me, this country, the next discussion will be on civil disobedience. Because we have realized that when you talk to the president, you will not reason. Now, it will be the issue of civil disobedience. And civil disobedience is worse than the petition we have today at the Gen Z.
You know, our time is done. But I hope that he listens. Listens to you, Joyce. Listens to what you have said, because these are very weighty matters. He should address some of these things. They're not just affecting the Gen Zs. They're affecting the entire country. When your words are tagged as nothing but lies, you know, it completely takes away your authority. You cannot give people hope because people will not believe you. Act now so that people can believe that what you're saying is true. The church have called you a liar. The church have called your government thieves and all that. You need to rise up and do something that will prove them wrong. And we pray that you prove them wrong, because when you do, then you will have benefited us as a people. So as we wait to hear from you, Mr. President, do the right thing. Have yourself a lovely morning.
You are watching EBN TV, transforming your world. You are watching EBN TV, transforming your world.
The school bell is ringing and it's time to get ready.